What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into Brothers of Merit. It is the season 3 last episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Number 12. Taylor,
Number 12.
what's up, buddy?
What up?
It is, it's finally, I say finally, but it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
So we just did the math here. It's actually episode 59.
59.
So we've had 59 episodes total that we've released
Crazy.
since we started.
I know, we just blew past number 50.
I know, we didn't even tell
We
anyone.
went
hey,
through, we were like, oh, so what was number 50?
Ryan Dilworth.
So
Sorry.
there you go. Shout out Ryan Dover.
I know. Shout out
Our
now to you.
50th episode. Not 50th guest, 50th episode.
So we cut. Yeah, we could have said something then, but yeah.
Whatever.
As usual, though, thank you
Typical
guys.
our fashion. We just blew right past it. Didn't even realize it.
And then we'll impulsively ask another question. We're like, something that doesn't even matter. But thank you guys for tuning in, as always. I know the pandemic is bringing on a lot of craziness. It's busting everyone out of their normal day-to-day routines. And sometimes, I don't want to say listening to us is harder, but it is harder because it's not your normal ride to work like everyone typically uses podcasts for. And you're at home. So thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that, quite honestly, like this is the only podcast that I listen to now when I usually have a lineup of podcasts that I listen to when I'm in the car. And now I listen to us, and that's it, because that's all I really have like time for. It's like weird to listen. I can't listen when I'm working personally, like when I'm doing physical, like computer work. I just get distracted or whatever. I need to listen to music. So yeah, that is like, thank you very much, like for sticking with us through season 3 and like listening to things as they came out. Like, thank you for listening. We super, super, super appreciate you.
So with that, as the past 2 seasons, we will have a fireside study series coming out. Taylor and I still need to sit down, and we're going to go over, what topics we think, the 3 of them, that we can pull from it and dig into a little bit deeper. Maybe some things that we hit on multiple times that God was just basically saying, like, hey, you're hitting on this multiple times for a reason. So maybe you should, talk about it a little bit more in depth so that you guys can look forward to that.
Sure.
I'm excited for that. And shout out to Mitch, because he'll be recording it, making us look better than we actually do look.
No, real talk. And for anybody who is even remotely local, I know he travels. And I know that COVID's been tough for him, but weddings aren't happening, and that's the main thing that he films, is weddings. So check out O House Films and go give him some love. And if you need anything videography, he's your man. Definitely go check him out.
Yeah, and he's obviously really good. He's got
100%.
all the cameras that record us at different angles, and
way better than we could do by ourselves.
Like our cell phone. Well, we actually did upgrade, and we went and got a little GoPro.
Hey,
it's not actually a GoPro. It's a
GoPro knockoff.
It's a GoPro knockoff called a Caso or something that we've been recording our new YouTube videos on.
Yeah, you can check them out, though. They're good. The quality's right where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's better than the iPhone.
100%.
And the iPhone wasn't that bad, so
I love it.
The Caso's been good.
I love it. So I was actually thinking through season 3, because I was starting to plan through, like, what do we want for fireside studies, like what our topic would be. And I was thinking back through the episodes. I was like, man, like, Ben Malcolmson was this season. Like, COVID has, like, wrecked, like you said,
your train of
our everybody. Like you said, everybody's normal has been so, like, thrown off. It's just like, really? Like, the past 3 months feel like it's been 3 years.
Yep.
So again, to that, thank you but also, like, just encourage you that, that also, I know that brings struggles, and that brings different things. We've all had to adapt and adjust, and it seems like depending on where you live, things are starting to open up a little bit. I know time of recording in Maryland tomorrow, things are opening up a little bit more, like outside restaurants are opening up and stuff, but we're starting to ease back into quote unquote normal. But my skin kind of crawls a little bit, and it's like, oh, I just can't wait to get back to normal.
Right.
And it's like, I'm sure you've heard this from people, but it's like, what were we supposed to learn during this season that we're supposed to carry with us? So our new normal isn't just the exact same normal as it used to be.
Right. And what is it? Is it wearing masks everywhere?
Right.
Is it leaving all of the splash guards up everywhere, which it's funny, man. I was literally talking to you guys, and I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, how is that going to look for a business if they take them down after this to the employee? Like, the employee would be like, oh, so you don't care about my health anymore just because the pandemic's over? You know, forget about me. I'm just going to go out and get spit on again. So I really do think, and the other thing, dude, is working remotely. Like, I really do think that businesses are going to be like, wait a minute, I can have people go home, work from home on their own electric bill, on their own internet.
Yep.
I don't have to pay anything in my office. Maybe a little stipend because you're using your own.
Sure.
But you know what I mean? Like, and you could do
everything.
The same amount of work you're doing in the office.
Like,
and they're not paying an electric bill as much.
The world has proved we don't need to be there to get things done.
And the world was already on that slope. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, people were working remotely more. So, but I really think this is going to like shed the light on the fact that is actually a possibility in regards to people are then going to be like, well, look at the amount of money it's saving on infrastructure of the road. You know what I mean? And like everything. So you're exactly right. Like, I do question, like, what is going to be the new normal?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, from my job, the normal, I think, is still going to kind of be the same. Sure. Like, we respond to people, we respond to fires. Fires aren't going to change. You know what I mean? Medical calls aren't going to change. Like, that's all going to be the same. But for people
saw
like
that firsthand.
Exactly. Yeah, you did. But
still show up.
Yep. I mean, yeah, the people might wear masks more, but still, I mean, but someone like you working in the shoe industry and for Under Armour, it's like, how is that going to be? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to let you work from home more, or only go on certain days when you have to like mess with product and do like? It's wild.
Yeah, I know, it really is. And then, I don't know. It's different and it's weird, but I think that it's like I think it's cool that like it shows that like people care enough about what they do, and not just like, this isn't like a whatever, like workaholics and stuff like that, you know, whatever. But like, I firmly believe that, especially like, I think that if you look in Genesis, like, I think that like God created, it says that God created man to like work the field. Like, you know, like man was like designed in the image of God to have a job and work the field before the fall even happened. Like, in Genesis 2, it talks about how like Adam named the animal, like he had a job and he like took pride in that, and like that's what God created him to do, right? Like, I mean, God made us like that. The fall made it so that we like put too much emphasis on that, and we, you know, whatever. So there's actually like, I've heard incredible sermons of people that have talked about like heaven's not gonna be like just us sitting around in an amphitheater with our hands raised worshiping Jesus all day long, right? Like,
we all think it will be.
Like, full disclosure, like, maybe I don't know if I want to sign up for that. Like, that sounds eventually boring, right? like it's going to be like a new earth where we're going to have jobs, and we're going to like, but there's going to be no stress. There's not going to be time. It's not going to hurt. There's not like, it's going to be everything only good about our jobs, right? Yeah. Which is a complete side note from what I was talking about, but typical. But I think it's cool that like people like proved like, hey, like I care enough about what I do. I'm invested enough in whatever my job is that I'm going to get the job done, regardless of where I'm working.
If I'm at home,
if it doesn't like, you don't need to be, people don't need to be over my shoulder the whole time.
Yep.
Or whatever. And people are, you know, humankind, Americans have shown like, hey, we're resilient, and we're gonna still get things done, and we're gonna move things forward the best we can.
Yep. And you know what, man? Cool. Like, and this kind of turned into a COVID thing, but we haven't talked about it really at all.
Sure.
So, but what I wanted to paint is not just about
it's
COVID.
Been like the 800-pound gorilla in
the room. And but Brittany and I were talking the other day, man, and what we need to remember is that this is all, at least in our eyes, this is all God's doing. Like, it's all part of the plan, and we don't know that plan.
It's good,
and we never will until our time is, you know what I mean, our eternal life. But he's got this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, he's got this covered, and I am no way saying like, don't worry about those that have lost loved ones. Absolutely not. Like, that is the pain and sorrow, and the biggest question that we sometimes ask ourselves, is the fact of losing loved ones and the biggest painful thing that we're going to encounter in our lives. But he's got this. And you and me and everyone else in this world have to realize that. Like, we have to be able to still, and ever since I've heard MJ say it, I probably overuse it too much, but it's so fitting for every way I imagine Christ now. But we just need to have palms up and just be like, hey man, like, I trust you. I don't like the fact that I got to wear a mask everywhere. I don't like the fact that what's going on and people are losing their lives. And America is, at the time of recording, is probably close to or might have just went over 100,000 deaths. Like, no one likes that. No one wants that to change up and rattle our daily lives and routines. But guess what? There's a reason for it. He's the reason, and he knows. So they're like, have faith in him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
no, 100%.
And that's hard to say in such a difficult time.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think that, like, the main thing that you hear then when you say that is, like, people say, like, but, like, if he has a plan, how is this the plan? You know what I mean? Like, and this is not going to get preachy or whatever, but, like, I don't know. It's exactly like what we've talked about it before. Like, like, God's in control, and ultimately He has a plan. And it's not really our concern what that plan is. Right. Like, our concern is just following Him.
Yep.
Right. Like, it says in Habakkuk, I think. Whoa. You like that?
You go, son.
I think it's in Habakkuk. It basically says Habakkuk is like asking. He's a prophet. And he's asking God, like, why is this happening? Like, what's your plan? Right? And God's like, if I told you, you wouldn't understand. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, and just trust that I got this.
And that's the easiest thing,
right? Because it's
in
like,
a way.
how could this be good? All I'm seeing is right in front of my eyes right now, and, like, people are dying, and it's not what I want, and this isn't comfortable, and this is, whatever. Like, how could this be the plan? And God's like, if I told you how this was the plan, you wouldn't believe it anyway. But trust me, like, I'm working things out.
Yep.
For your good in His eyes, not for your good in your eyes, right? My good in my eyes, by the world standards, is like, oh, like, He's working things out. Yeah. I'm going to get a bigger house, and I'm going to have cars that never break down. And you know what I mean? Like, when my life looks perfect and I have 2.5 kids and a white picket fence.
That's our good.
Right. Like, that is, like, that's not what God calls us to. Right? Like, I don't know.
We have to trust in Him. And like I said, I say that to those that maybe some of you listening are big into and have dug really deep into the COVID stuff and listened to a bunch of podcasts and stuff, but I haven't really.
Sure.
So I'm using this time in our platform and our ministry to just get that out there, that you have to trust in Him. You know what I mean? For everything. And so we don't just talk about COVID the whole time. We'll transition into more trust in Him. Like, and for us, we're having to trust in Him that the decision we're making right now to end season 3 prepares us and gets us to where we need to begin at season 4 at the right time.
Yep.
We have a lot of things on the horizon for everyone. Like, if you guys can't see in this video, one, stop driving, pull over, go to YouTube. I'm just kidding. Get to a parking lot. But we are wearing Brothers of Merit hats.
Hey, yo.
And they're actually really, really cool. So Taylor, he is a dad hat man. Like, that's his go-to. That's his thing. And if you guys can't tell when you do watch this, Taylor and I always have hats on. Like, we're just hat dudes. Like, that's our thing.
We are hat dudes.
Like, that's what we do. We wear hats. So Taylor, but it's the polar opposite. So Taylor is a dad hat fan. For those of you that don't understand what a dad hat is,
which contrary to Brandon's belief, is way more of you than he thinks.
Yes, yes. I don't believe it's Taylor's rigged.
He actually didn't even know it was the name of the hat. Like,
literally, they said
I was
dad
like,
hat.
oh, like, I like dad hats. And he was like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, you just
What's
came
the
up
real
with that
name?
And then, like,
You
we
and Mike
were, like, researching other stuff and showing, like, other hats of whatever. And he was like, it really is called a dad hat. Like, that's actually what people call it.
Yeah, because I looked at your computer and you and Mike were in there. I was like, oh, it's actually, like, that's really the dad hat. which is wild to me. But the dad hat is not. It's a very low profile hat, so it like curves with the head, very easy. Like it's
much
just
more comfortable. It's much more stylish.
Yeah, I
forget
mean
that I have it on most days.
Right. Well, a dad hat fits your head, like your looks. Like it just.
What are you saying about my head?
It complements it, but like for mine, I'm a high profile like fan. Like I love the trucker type look, whether it's the flex fit or the adjustable. But I love the mesh back with the higher profile. It stands up kind of taller. So we went out,
and it complements your head.
Thank you. See how this works, guys. Compliments each way, whether they're the exact same or not. But we went out and we got 2 of them. So if you guys can check them out here in the video. We'll probably post a picture of them at some point, or if Taylor hasn't already, on the Instagram, just so you can see them. But they are really nice.
Yeah, super high quality.
Yep, and I can't wait to get these out. So you guys have like reached out to us multiple times and have been like, "Where are your T-shirts? Where are your hats?" And it is a process.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
but gentlemen,
it's
the
coming.
store's coming.
It is. It is really coming.
Yeah, and like not to just turn this into a merch section or whatever, but like, yeah, so we're gonna have the dad hat, we're gonna have the high profile trucker hat, and we're gonna have koozies and bottle openers we already have right now.
Yep.
So yeah, and those are for non-alcoholic beverages as well. If you have a problem with that.
Yep, absolutely. So don't feel like you have to be indulging in that. But I'm pumped for it. Like I said,
Heck yeah.
We're just listening to you guys. So
yep. No, that's awesome. That's a great word, because that's 100% accurate.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with. I mean, honestly, I love Brothers of Merit. Obviously, Taylor loves it. I mean,
sure,
we do it. This is our ministry, so we love it. But I can't necessarily say I would have went out and bought a hat with our logo on it when we did. You know what I mean? Like, so we did it because we're listening to you guys and what input you provide us and what your wants are. So yeah. Keep an eye out for that. We're really stoked about that. We have the Fireside Study series coming up. So that's going to be really cool as well. Don't know the topics yet, but stay tuned. They are to come. And I guess we're looking at probably August to September timeframe. That's our returning listeners, even those that are new that just want to know our schedule. We typically do like a 12 to 15 month, minus the first season, because that was a really long one, and we were obviously learning podcasting. We were learning our ministry's desires, like what path we were taking. But we try to aim to 12 to 15 episodes per season, and we take about, 2 to 3 months?
2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 month break in between. Obviously, we're still digitally putting stuff out for the ministry on the Instagram and the website and all, so you can still find content. And as Taylor and I were talking earlier, our podcasts are always here. They're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And that's what I was just about to say, actually, when you're done. Perfect segue. But like we just said, this is episode 59.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and like, bear in mind, if you listen to anything from like early season 1, the audio quality isn't necessarily fantastic.
It makes me cringe, right?
But the content has always been incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, because of like, I don't know if I've actually ever said this on the show before.
Uh-oh.
But one of the best compliments I've ever gotten about Brothers of Merit is, I was talking to one of my buddies about, it was actually the episode that we did with Brendan, with my brother in season 2. And, he was like, "Oh, when I saw that topic, I wasn't surprised at all that that's what you guys talked about." Because like Brendan's really into evangelism, so that makes perfect sense. And I was like, "Yeah, the cool thing is we didn't plan that at all going in. It was literally just like, we're going to turn the mic on and start talking, and
that's how it worked out.
And that's what we ended up talking about, right?"
Yep.
And he was like, "That's the coolest idea for a podcast platform I've ever heard. Like, you're literally just giving the script over to God, and you're just saying, hey, like, we're just going to pray beforehand." And we're just going to say, God, wherever you want to take this conversation, whatever like content you want people to hear and be brought out of it, which is why we get so much out of listening to it,
right?
Is what's going to happen, right? And so like we've had the privilege to interview some amazing people who have absolutely floored us. The highlight of that probably being last week.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one.
And yeah, and so, but the point being, sorry, I got off track. Again, as usual, is there's 59 episodes that exist, and so we've been talking, and like through the summer, I think we're gonna like highlight some of our favorite episodes, and we're gonna ask you guys what were your favorite episodes, and we're gonna get you guys to spotlight and highlight, do like listener spotlights of what your favorite episode was and why, and we'll spotlight that on our Instagram page and our Facebook and stuff like that, and on our website. So we're just still gonna be creating content, or we're still gonna be putting content out. Yep. But that's the beauty of it. Is this I like. This honestly, like, and this is, I don't feel like I'm being heretical or like this is God breathed. Like we literally pray before every episode, and we're like, hey, we have no script, we have no agenda, and afterwards we pray, God, whatever is from us, I pray would be forgotten, and whatever is from you would stick. Like that's what matters. That honestly and fully, and that's for no reason other than to just let you guys in behind the fold and just to let you know, like that really is our heart. That really is why we do this. And that's why we tell you guys about Patreon, and that's why we tell you guys about our merch and stuff like that, because we're honestly, like, this is like a call, like, we're looking for people that, like, when you hear that fires you up. And you're like, you know what? That's awesome. And maybe I don't have the time to do that, or maybe, like, podcast isn't my thing, but I love what you just said. Like, if that fired you up, then, like, that's why we create stuff for you, because that's because we live in a world where this stuff isn't free, and that's how this stuff grows. That's how more people hear this. That's Absolutely. How you're not the only one listening to this right now. It's because you share, or because you get involved, and you're like, hey, you know what? I love that heart behind that mission. Dig into it more. Get involved. Yep. Like, we've been completely transparent from episode 1. Like, this isn't going to happen if it's just us. Yep. Right? Like, if that fires you up, then get involved, and let's grow this thing together.
And that's in essence why it's called Brothers of Merit. Like, to be a brother of merit, to be that brother of quality, to be that brother of trust, to be that brother of just of one another. Like, that is Brothers of Merit right there. So that's what it's about, guys. And like Taylor said, I can't stress enough, and I love that about us. We don't have scripts. Like, we don't have anything written down. We literally just show up. God breathes into us, and when he exhales, words come out sometimes that Taylor does impossibly begin with, but and we just roll with it, and that is the best. We literally, we've interviewed people before that have tried to give us canned questions, and we literally put them aside, and not being rude, not being jerks or anything or disrespectful, but just telling them, like, hey, that's not kind of our thing. We trust in God, trust in Him.
We try to get to the question, like exactly. If they have a book, we're going to ask the questions that they want.
Because most of the books we read, so we want to ask about them. But at the same breath, 100%. Like, He's on this table with us. He's sitting right here. Like, He's guiding it. So, man. Like, I just, like, we can't thank you guys enough. Stay tuned. And the last thing I wanted to hit on was the Patreon.
Right. Because that was, and real quick, because that was, I was actually going to say this after, but I think that ending with what you're going to say is good. Yeah. Because we actually said this beforehand. Our mission at Brothers of Merit has been from the very get-go. I remember being in Asia, like when this started, man, like week 1, when we came up with our mission, and our mission is to inspire men to seek brotherhood through Christ. Yep. That has nothing to do with a podcast. Yep. Right? Like, there's that sentence has nothing to do with physically what we have done so far. So that could completely change. That could completely not. Like, whatever. That's our mission. That's our heart. If you want to be a part of seeing that happen in people's lives, that is what being a brother of merit looks like.
Good word, man. No, and you're exactly right. And we don't even know what the future is going to have that exactly look like. Only He does. And we listen to Him, and we just try to field out exactly what we think He wants for all of you and us. And that's what we do. So, but yeah, the Patreon, if you guys, we have a few subscribers, so it's really beneficial. It helps us. It's nothing, personally for us to gain. Like, it's literally just to support this ministry so we can keep going, because as everyone, for the most part, knows, like, churches, people on payroll at churches, like, everything comes from us giving into something to try to make it, because we believe in Him. We trust in Him, and that's what we do. So, check that out. Patreon.com/Brothers of Merit. There's different tiers. We're going to continue on those different tiers throughout even on the off season. So all the newsletters and then the Bible studies and all. So that's been really cool. We started that last month. So tune into that and subscribe and get involved with us. We'd love to meet all of you. A lot of you we interact with social media and Instagram and all, but we would love to get to take that next step with you and actually do a live Bible study and dig into the Word. So please reach out to us and let's become Brothers of Merit. Like, let's dig deeper into it.
Absolutely. And full disclosure, like, Brandon and I are like subscribed to it as well.
Yep.
Like, I don't want you to think by any means that we're ever like, can you please give us money because this costs a lot of money? Like, we're invested in this.
Oh yeah.
Like, believe me, I'm not trying to like, we're invested into this. We're not asking you to do anything more than we're doing. In fact, like, we're always going to be the ones that are like investing into this deeply. So don't think that we're like asking you to like cover our bills because we can't or anything like that. That's not. And again, everything goes just 100% right back into Brothers of Merit. We don't take anything for ourselves because the whole point is for this to be just self-sufficient and to grow on what like-minded Brothers of Merit with that heart all collectively marching forward looks like.
Yep. And whatever you feel called, like we've talked about before, $5, $10, $15, or $20 a month. Those are the tiers. So whatever you feel called for, it helps. It goes a long way, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. So, we'll wrap it up here, guys. Thank you from Taylor and I. And Mike, if he were here, we're actually recording on some
old school
Behringer USB interface. So if you guys can see, it's not Mike's usual setup. We don't have the really awesome mics. So
shout out to Mike with church opening back up. He's got some worship stuff he's got playing for it right now.
Yeah, so he's always working hard for us and providing us a lot of good worship music that connects us with him. And we can't thank him enough. So if you guys don't like this audio quality, blame Taylor and I. It's older. It's not the old equipment, but it is the old equipment. So we will, August, September time frame. Keep up with us on Instagram. And we will, I guess, talk to you guys.
See you in a couple months
soon.
Have a good summer.
Yeah. Be safe. Have a good summer. Hope the COVIDs and the Coronas is over.
And we'll see you.
See ya.